Hi, I'm Jeanne and I'm here from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and today I want to teach you something new. I am really big on learning new things, and a lot of my customers come in and they ask me about socks. Everybody is terrified of turning the heel on their sock, and it really isn't that hard, and learning to turn your heel opens you up to what we call short row work, which is in all kinds of stuff. It helps you shape other garments, all kinds of neat stuff. So what I've done is I've knit a little swatch here out of a chunky weight. This is our Misty Alpaca Chunky. It's our landscape colors. This was okay, rewind that. This is what was left over after I knit my adult size Huck's hat, and the colorway is Forks Washington. And I mentioned that because you all email me when I use stuff. So I'll just tell you right now, that is Forks Washington in the Landscape Chunky collection. Really beautiful yarn. But I used it so that there would be big stitches so you could really see what I'm doing. So Siobhan is going to tell me if my hands are in the right place. She's giving me thumbs up here. So there's kind of a formula for turning a heel. Of course you want to follow your pattern, but the unwritten rule is that, or it's actually written, Kat Bordy's written about it, Charlene Church has written about it, is you work half of your stitches. So I have 12 stitches here, so half would be 6. So we always slip the first stitch until we're actually completed with our short row work. And so we're going to knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we still have 6 stitches over here. So we've actually worked half of our stitches, slipping that first stitch. So to make a nice little heel cup, you knit this next stitch, 1 more stitch past half, knit 2 together, and then knit 1 more stitch. And this is the short row part. You can see that I have 2 unworked stitches on my left hand needle, but I'm not going to get flipped out about it or Twitter-pated. I am just going to leave those stitches there and turn the whole bunch of knitting around to the purl side, okay? And have faith that these 2 stitches will eventually get worked, because trust me, it's really going to happen. So we slip the first stitch. Now we're going to knit 3 stitches.
Purl.
Oh, yes, don't knit them. Then you'll have garter stitch heel, which is cute, but don't do that. That's a good reminder, Victoria. I'm actually purling 3 stitches. So I slip my first stitch, purl 3, purl 2 together, and some patterns will do an SSK here and there and whatever, so just follow your pattern. But for ease of demonstration, I'm just doing the 2 stitches together on either side. And you see I now have the same number of stitches left on my other side of my work. So I turn the whole thing around, and I'm going to slip my first stitch, but before I do that, I want to show you this gap. This is kind of like your short row marker, bookmark, or knitting marker. Sandy's making faces at me. Now she's trying to look sweet and angelic.
I am sweet and angelic.
She wishes, yeah. We all know the truth. This little gap between these stitches, which is created by turning the work and slipping those stitches, is a really good place to know that you're going to work right up to that gap, work the stitch right before the gap and the stitch right after the gap together. So it's a good way, once you get your short rows established, to know where to work those 2 stitches together in whatever form of decrease your pattern calls for. So now we are going to slip our first stitch again. How's my hands, Siobhan? Good. And we're going to not worry about counting stitches, and we're going to work back up to our stitch right before the gap, just like this. And there's our gap. We're going to work those 2 stitches together and work the last stitch. And you can sort of see right now that we're starting to get a little kind of cut for our heel. Okay, but we're not really quite done because we still have these 2 lonely stitches over here with this gap. So we're going to turn our work, and we're going to purl this time instead of knit because we're on the wrong side of our work. We slip our first stitch, and we're going to purl across. La 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 la, purling, purling, purling. And we're purling up to the stitch before the gap. Can you see that okay, Siobhan? And then the stitch after the gap, and we're going to purl those 2 stitches together and purl our last stitch. And we have now turned a heel. The one other note I would make with my formula here is that you need to be on the other side of your work to pick up your gusset over here on this side. So you can just knit back 1 row, and it doesn't change anything with the fit of your sock or anything like that to get yourself in the right place.
So you need to be on the wrong side of the work to pick up the gusset, or the right side of the work?
Well, you're on the right side of the work,
Okay.
but you're always on the right side of the heel flap.
Okay.
It's really you're looking at the wrong side of the heel flap, and you're picking up on the side that is on your right side. So as you can see, if I'm looking at the wrong side of this heel flap, my working yarn is over here on my left. So I would just work 1 row across, which would put me over here on the correct side for picking up for the gusset. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you and just kind of clears up that short row work. Short rows are kind of a thing you have to have faith and just kind of follow through. Don't worry about those unworked stitches on those needles. You're going to work them. Everything will be fine, I promise. Have fun knitting, have fun doing socks, have fun working short rows. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Happy knitting!
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night. There's kids on the corner, stuck in a switchblade fight. And the rock and roll bands play for the girls on the